There are people in life who will try to dim your light, break your spirit, and make you doubt your worth. But remember, no matter how toxic their presence may be, you always have the power to protect your peace. The real strength is not in fighting them, but in rising above them. Today I will share with you 10 powerful ways to deal with toxic people. And trust me, if you truly want to grow, you need to listen to every single one of them. 1. Set boundaries without guilt. There comes a point in life when you must recognize that not everyone deserves unlimited access to you. Toxic people by nature thrive on pushing limits, testing patience, and manipulating emotions. They will constantly cross lines, sometimes subtly, sometimes boldly, just to see how far they can go. And if you allow it once, they will repeat it again and again until you feel suffocated. That is why boundaries are not just important, they are essential for survival, self-respect, and emotional well-being. Setting boundaries does not mean you are harsh, unkind, or selfish. It means you respect yourself enough to protect your peace. Many people feel guilty when they say no because society conditions us to always be agreeable, accommodating, and available. But the truth is, saying no is not rejection. It is redirection. It is teaching others how to treat you. When you do not establish boundaries, you send the silent message that your time, your energy, and your emotions are free for everyone to take advantage of. Boundaries are like invisible fences. They protect what's valuable inside. Imagine if your home had no doors or walls, anyone could walk in, take what they wanted, and leave you empty. That is exactly what happens when you live without boundaries. Toxic people recognize such openness as weakness, and they will exploit it until you are drained. By putting boundaries in place, you are not shutting people out, you are simply creating healthy limits that define how you want to be treated. Sometimes setting boundaries will upset others, especially those who benefited from you having none. They may call you selfish, distant, or even arrogant, but remember, their discomfort is not your responsibility. Their anger only reveals how much they relied on your lack of limits to control you. Do not let guilt trick you into lowering your guard. You are not here to please everyone. You are here to protect your well-being. The beauty of boundaries is that they empower you. They give you clarity about what you will tolerate and what you won't. They help you recognize your worth and remind others that your kindness is not weakness. And most importantly, they create space for healthier, more meaningful connections. People who truly respect and value you will never be offended by your boundaries, they will honor them. 2. Protect your energy. Your energy is one of the most precious resources you have, and toxic people are experts at draining it. They thrive on chaos, negativity, and emotional manipulation, leaving you feeling exhausted without even realizing it. Protecting your energy means being intentional about who you give your time, attention, and emotions to. It's about recognizing that not everyone deserves a seat at your table, especially those who bring nothing but drama and pain. When you allow toxic people to consume your energy, you rob yourself of the strength you need to grow, heal, and pursue your dreams. Protecting your energy may look like limiting conversations with those who constantly complain, stepping back from people who only criticize, or refusing to engage in pointless arguments that lead nowhere. It means creating an invisible shield around your mind and heart so negativity does not seep in. Remember, your energy sets the tone for your life. The more you guard it, the more peace, clarity, and focus you will have. Protecting your energy is not an act of selfishness. It is an act of survival, self-love, and wisdom that ensures your spirit stays strong. 3. Don't take it personally. One of the greatest mistakes you can make when dealing with toxic people is believing that their behavior is about you. It is not. Their anger, their bitterness, their constant negativity, it all stems from battles they are fighting within themselves. When they insult you, ignore you, or try to pull you down, they are projecting their own insecurities onto you. If you take it personally, you absorb poison that was never meant to be yours. Understanding this truth is liberating. It allows you to detach from their words and actions without letting them bruise your self-worth. Instead of asking, "What's wrong with me?" shift the question to, "What pain must they be carrying to act this way?" That simple shift changes your perspective and protects your heart from unnecessary wounds. When you don't take things personally, you stop giving toxic people the power to control your emotions. Their negativity bounces off instead of sinking in. You become stronger, calmer, and more in control of your peace. Remember, what they say or do is a reflection of them. It is never a definition of you. 4. Respond. Don't set, react. Toxic people thrive on triggering emotional reactions. They push your buttons, twist your words, and create situations designed to make you lose control. The moment you react with anger, frustration, or defensiveness, you hand them the power they are looking for. But when you pause, breathe, and choose to respond with calmness, you take back control of the situation and of yourself. Responding means thinking before you speak, weighing your words, and choosing your actions with intention. It is the art of self-mastery, deciding that your peace is more valuable than winning an argument. When you respond, you speak from strength, not from impulse. This makes toxic people uncomfortable because they cannot manipulate someone who remains grounded and composed. Sometimes the best response is silence. Sometimes it is a firm but respectful statement, and sometimes it is simply walking away. The key is to act in a way that protects your dignity and keeps your energy intact. Reactions are easy, but responses are powerful. By responding instead of reacting, you send a clear message: I refuse to let your chaos disturb my calm. 5. Keep distance, even if it hurts. Sometimes the most loving thing you can do for yourself is to create distance from people who constantly harm your peace. It is not always easy, especially when those toxic people are close friends, relatives, or even loved ones you once trusted deeply. But holding on to someone who continuously drains you is far more painful than letting them go. Distance does not mean hatred, it means choosing self-preservation over self-destruction. Keeping distance allows you to breathe, to think clearly, and to rebuild your strength without the weight of constant negativity. It gives you the space to heal from the emotional wounds that toxic behavior creates. At first, it may feel like a loss, but over time you realize it is actually a gain, the gain of freedom, clarity, and emotional safety. Toxic people often resist when you pull away because they lose their control over you. They may guilt trip you, call you selfish, or try to draw you back into their chaos. But remember, your mental health is more important than their approval. Choosing distance is not weakness, it is wisdom. It is a declaration that your peace matters more than their poison. 6. Surround yourself with positive souls. The people you surround yourself with shape the quality of your life. When you constantly stay around toxic individuals, their negativity seeps into your thoughts, your emotions, and even your self-image. But when you choose to keep positive, uplifting, and encouraging souls close, your entire world begins to shift toward growth and light. Positive people inspire you to dream bigger, remind you of your strengths, and help you see possibilities, even in the darkest times. Being around positivity is like breathing fresh air after being trapped in a suffocating room. You feel lighter, stronger, and more hopeful. Their energy is contagious. They don't drain you, they energize you. That is why it's so important to be intentional about who you allow into your space. If someone constantly adds to your stress, replace their presence with someone who adds to your joy. Surrounding yourself with positive souls does not mean you will never face challenges, but it ensures you have a circle that supports and uplifts you when life gets hard. These are the people who remind you of your worth when toxic voices try to make you doubt it. Choose carefully, because your circle becomes your mirror. 7. Don't sit, argue. Just observe. Toxic people often thrive on arguments because conflict gives them a sense of control and importance. They twist conversations, exaggerate situations, and use manipulation to trap you in endless debates that never lead to understanding. The more you argue, the more you feed their need for drama. That is why one of the smartest strategies in dealing with them is to stop engaging in arguments and simply observe. Observation allows you to see their patterns clearly. Instead of wasting your energy trying to prove your point, you step back and watch how they reveal their true selves through their words and actions. When you observe, you learn about their triggers, their insecurities, and the tactics they use to manipulate. This knowledge gives you the upper hand because it helps you choose your response wisely. By refusing to argue, you also protect your peace. You don't get dragged into their negativity, and you don't allow them to drain your emotions. Sometimes silence speaks louder than any argument, and distance holds more power than any explanation. When you choose to observe instead of argue, you rise above their chaos while keeping your dignity intact. 8. Strengthen your self-worth. Toxic people gain power only when you doubt yourself. The moment you start questioning your value because of their criticism, manipulation, or rejection, you hand them control over your emotions. That is why strengthening your self-worth is one of the most powerful shields you can build against their influence. When you know who you are and what you deserve, no toxic voice can make you feel small. Strengthening self-worth begins with reminding yourself daily that your value does not depend on anyone's approval. It comes from within, from your character, your kindness, your resilience, and the unique gifts you bring to the world. Toxic people may try to convince you that you are not enough, but that is only because they fear the strength you carry when you recognize your worth. Invest in yourself. Read, learn, grow, and practice self-love. Surround yourself with people who appreciate you, not those who belittle you. Every time you choose to stand tall despite negativity, you reinforce your inner strength. When your self-worth is unshakable, toxic people lose their power because nothing they say or do can make you question who you are. Confidence is your silent armor. 9. Practice forgiveness, but don't forget. Carrying anger toward toxic people only chains you to their negativity. When you refuse to forgive, you hold on to their poison, letting it live inside your heart. Forgiveness is not about excusing their behavior or allowing them back into your life. It is about freeing yourself from the heavy burden of resentment. By forgiving, you reclaim your peace and refuse to let their actions define your future. But forgiveness does not mean forgetting the lessons. Forgetting can place you in the same cycle of hurt again. When someone shows you their true nature, believe them. Keep the wisdom you gained from the experience as a shield for the future. Forgive so your heart can stay light, but remember so your mind stays sharp. Forgiveness is for your healing, not for their comfort. Toxic people may never admit their wrongs, and they may never change. That is not your responsibility. Your responsibility is to rise above, let go of bitterness, and move forward with strength. By forgiving without forgetting, you break free from the emotional chains while carrying the wisdom that protects you from falling into the same trap again. 10. Choose growth over poison. Every encounter with a toxic person presents you with a choice to let their bitterness infect your soul or to use the experience as fuel for growth. Toxic people want to pull you into their darkness, to make you operate on their level of anger, jealousy, and negativity. But growth means refusing to drink their poison. It means choosing to rise above, to keep your heart clean, and to continue moving forward no matter what storms they create around you. Growth is about turning pain into wisdom. Instead of asking, "Why did this happen to me?" shift the question to, "What can I learn from this?" Every insult, every betrayal, and every manipulation carries a hidden lesson that can make you stronger if you allow it. By choosing growth, you transform their negativity into your stepping stone. The truth is, you cannot always control who enters your life, but you can always control what you take from the experience. Poison weakens you, but growth strengthens you. Each time you choose growth over poison, you prove to yourself that no toxic force is powerful enough to stop your journey of becoming the best version of you.